Hello there. In this video, I return to the series on Muhammad's red flags. For those who don't know what I'm referring to, you could easily go to the series. There is a playlist where I've been itemizing those issues that I consider the red flags. You see, if you want to buy any item, whether it's a car or household item, you've got to check very well. Those that are very familiar with with cars, you want to check a lot of things. You want to look at fuel consumption. You want to look at whether you could get replacement parts easily, or whether those replacement parts are cheap or otherwise, and whether the car is going to have some second-hand value. We call it second-hand here in case you want to sell it as a used vehicle. Does it have any value as a used vehicle? And many other issues that you have to consider if you're buying a car. If you're buying a house or you're renting a house, you've got to look inwards. You check everything. You look at the kitchen, you look at all the facilities. But somehow, when it comes to the issue of religion, people tell us that we don't have to check anything. Just swallow it hook, line, and sinker. Even though it's a matter of eternity, and it is way more weightier than buying temporal things. And so what I consider the red flags, they are the things that you should check before you embrace any religion, particularly Islam. We're talking about Islam here. For those that want to abandon Christianity and want to embrace Islam, before you take that shahada and enter into trouble for a very long time in your life, and you will not be able to come out. Or for those who are thinking, is this true? Is this not true? This is why I created this series, the red flags, the things you should look at to know, or is this really a true prophet or a false prophet? And it doesn't apply to him alone. It applies to a lot of other people that are imposters, people that claim to be what they are not. Whether they call themselves pastors or whatever, you've got to check. Don't just submit your life. Don't submit your eternity. Don't submit yourself to anything. You owe yourself this duty. It's not a matter of hatred. It's a matter of eternity. It's a matter of life and death. So if you check temporal things before you subscribe, before you buy, why not check eternal things? Why not look before you leap? That is why we did this. And I've done previous episodes. I don't want to repeat them. In this particular episode, what I want to talk about, they are the convenient revelations. Revelations of convenience. That's what I'm talking about in this particular episode. So I've said it several times that one of my favorite chapters, if not the favorite chapter in the Quran, in the whole of the Quran, is chapter 33, Surah 33. It contains a lot of goodies, a lot of things that you should examine and see, is this from God or not? So today, I won't go into things that I've said before. I'll just mention them in passing. For example, in Surah 33, Ayah 36 and Ayah 37. There, the believers, the followers of Muhammad, were told not to question, not to query whatever his decisions were. Okay? So just picture it this way. Suppose for a minute that I am the prophet, and I just came to you and I told you that God has given me a revelation. And what is the revelation? The revelation is telling you that whatever myself and the God that sent me have decided. Think about how creepy that is. Whatever myself and the God that sent me have decided, it's binding. Nobody should query it. That's what you have in Surah 33, in Ayah 36 and 37. In Surah 33, again, in Ayah 53, you find another story. The followers of Muhammad were told by Muhammad's God, Allah. And remember, these things are coming from the mouth of Muhammad himself. They're coming from the mouth of Muhammad. So what is in Surah 33, ayah 53. So it is that the followers, his subordinates, they were not to raise their voice. They were not to raise their voice, maybe shout on him or something like that, the way they did to one another. Otherwise, and this is the creepy part, otherwise their good deeds could be voided. Their good deeds could be cancelled if they raised their voice against Muhammad. Isn't that creepy? Okay, let's move on. Surah 33 in ayah 50. This is a very funny one. Any woman could give herself to Muhammad to sleep with. Anybody could give herself to Muhammad to sleep with. This is God, supposed God, talking. And talking through who? Talking through Muhammad. And giving, who is the privilege going to? Muhammad. That is to tell you that these are convenient, these are things that should make you cringe. How is it that God has no business, he has no job other than to just do things that please Muhammad? Think a minute again. In this same Surah 33, in ayah 36 and ayah 37 that I mentioned, the case in question was about Zaid, the adopted son of Muhammad, and his beautiful wife Zainab. And that was why those two ayahs came down. That whatever decision Muhammad and Allah have taken jointly, it's a joint decision. The Muslims have no say. Don't say anything about it. These are convenient revelations. In case you don't know what convenience revelation is, it is self-serving. Those ayahs serve no purpose other than to please Muhammad's own lust. That is it. So let me just move on. So in ayah 50, any woman that wanted to give herself to Muhammad could do so. And a long list, daughters of his maternal uncle, daughters of his paternal uncle, daughters of his maternal aunt, daughters of his paternal, all kinds of, and any believer. So Aisha observed, if you look at any tafsir on this ayah, Surah 33, ayah 50, and then there are also hadiths about it, where Aisha said, what kind of mess is this? That a woman of dignity should not be offering herself to a man to sleep with. It was when Aisha complained like that. That was when then Surah 33, ayah 51 came down. Remember, we're talking of ayah 50 and ayah 51. Ordinarily, if you are not digging deep, you would not know that those two ayahs did not come down on the same day. Maybe not the same week. Maybe not the same month. It was after Aisha complained. Aisha was reasonable. Aisha thought that this is nonsense. This cannot be from God. This ayah cannot be from God. But she didn't put it that way. She just said, how could a sensible woman voluntarily offer herself? Doesn't she have a shame? That was when Muhammad thought, wow. In fact, Aisha added one more thing. She said, it looks like, talking to Muhammad, looks like your Lord hastens to grant your desires. Looks like he is in no other business other than to just grant your wish. In fact, he hastens, he hurries up. He is your almighty servant. Whatever you want, he grants. And he grants it speedily. That's what Aisha said about Surah 33, ayah 50. It was then ayah 51 came down. And what is in ayah 51? Okay now. Muhammad, you can put off anyone that you don't want. Because the women just kept on coming. Immediately, Surah 33, ayah 50 came down. Oh, the women. You know women. Muhammad was in authority. Muhammad had power. He had provisions, because a lot of provisions were coming. And so women wanted to come. They were coming in their droves. Then when Aisha complained, Aisha was a little bit jealous. Then she complained, and Ayah 51 came. Okay, because of Aisha's complaint. Obviously, Allah wasn't saying that. I'm just the one. I'm the one interpreting that way. Okay, so now that Aisha has complained, well, Muhammad has the latitude. He has the freedom to just reject, to refuse anyone that he so wishes. What kind of revelation is that? Revelation of convenience, self-serving revelation. But I want to show two of my favorites. So let's go to Quran.com. So in Quran.com, I'm going to go to Surah 33. This same Surah 33. Let's look for Surah 33. And where is 33? This is 33 Al-Ahzab. Sorry. Surah Al-Ahzab. That is in Surah 33. Let me make it very easily seen on the screen so that we can enjoy this whole thing together. You know, I like trying to show what I'm doing. All right. Just a minute. It will soon. Okay. So you can see everything very well. It still doesn't look nice. Just in a minute, that should be. All right, I think it's better this way. It's better now. Okay. So this is Surah 33. Let's go to Ayah 35. This one is a little bit, it's interesting. So let's go to Ayah. Let's do it this way. Ayah 35. And this one is very, very interesting. So here is it. Surely, for Muslim men and women, believing men and women, devout men and women, truthful men and women, on and on like that, let's go to. Okay, it is not for believing. This is not the one that I'm looking for. Looks like this is not the ayah that I'm looking for. I think it's not 35. It's 53. So let's just check 53. Yeah, I want to be very sure that 35, 53. So I interchanged them. Okay, so this is the ayah that I'm looking for. Look at it. So, all believers, do not enter the homes of the prophet without permission. And if invited, that is in brackets, it's not there, but let's just read it. So, all believers, do not enter the homes of the prophet. Notice homes in plural here. So it's not just one home. He had several homes according to the number of women that he had. Okay, because they were not all living in the same home. So that's why it says homes. He himself, I'm not sure. I don't know whether he had a particular home. But he used to go from one house to another on a number of days. So maybe a week per woman. I don't know. Or maybe some days. I wouldn't know how he arranged it. I don't want to go into that. But they had homes. So all believers do not enter the home. So wherever he was, that was where the visitors would go. In fact, there is a hadith that talks about fighting breaking out among the women. Because if he stayed in a particular home, then the visitors that came with their gifts, the gift would belong to the woman with whom he was staying. And so if he was, I think at the time he was staying more with Aisha, and the other women were complaining because Aisha was getting all the gifts that the people were bringing. But that's a topic for another day. Where I'm going is this. So Allah was warning the people that they should not enter without permission for a meal. And so if they were invited for a meal, they should not come too early or so that they were lingering until the meal was ready. So they were not to come too early. They must come at the right time. I don't know how they would know that the meal was ready. I don't know. But they were not to come too early. So they were to come at the nick of time, when the food was ready, when the meal was ready. And after eating, they were not to stay for discussion. They were to leave immediately. And that was too difficult for Muhammad to say. It was too difficult. So Allah had to say it. But through whom? Through whom? Let's read it. So, says, but if you are invited, then enter on time. All these ones are additions. So, I think I will read another. They don't like to say this, but I'm going to read another version. It is a version. Once you have eaten, then go on your way and do not stay for casual talk. Such behavior is truly annoying to the prophet. Who is talking? Who is talking here? Such behavior. If you come too early and you're just prattling, you're just chatting before the meal was ready, or after taking meal, you are just staying behind for casual talk. Before or after the meal, don't stay for casual talk. If you stay like that, it was annoying to the prophet. Yet, he is too shy to ask you to leave. But Allah is never shy of the truth. Which truth? I mean, which truth are we talking about here? Just telling people to leave or not to come too early? That's the truth? Allah is not too shy of the truth. But Muhammad was too shy to tell them. So, since Muhammad was too shy to tell them, Allah had to come to his rescue. Convenient revelation. So I'm just wondering how Muhammad would deliver this kind of revelation with a straight face. Think about it. I am the prophet. I am the one affected by this matter, but I can't tell you. Then, in order to be able to tell you, I have to tell you that I have a revelation. Allah has given me a revelation. Okay, what is your revelation, prophet? Well, thank you for asking. The revelation is that Allah, I don't know how to deliver that kind of it's such a very funny, it's a funny thing. It's a funny revelation. How do you deliver that kind of revelation? Okay, I am shy to tell you, but then I have a revelation, and here is the revelation. So Allah is now the one talking. Through who? Through the mouth of Muhammad. But I thought he was shy to say it. So who is now saying it ultimately? He is the one saying it. Let's read another. Let's read another one. Another version. Oh, you who have believed, do not enter the houses of the prophet except when you are permitted for a meal without awaiting its readiness. So don't wait. Don't come and hang around and be talking and be chatting, cha before it is ready. So you must come in good time. Come on time. But when you are invited, then enter. And when you have eaten, disperse without seeking to remain for conversation. I don't know. What kind of revelation is this? Indeed, that behavior was troubling the prophet, and he is shy of dismissing you. But Allah is not shy of the truth. I can't understand this. So this is when somebody says he is delivering a revelation, and it is like this, then this should raise a red flag. It should warn you. This can't be from God. This is too convenient. Revelations are not meant to be convenient. There is no prophet in history, in the whole of human history, that had this kind of thing. The nearest, the closest I can think of is Moses. That is the closest I can think of. When there were occasions when Aaron and their sister Miriam, when they were ganging up against Moses. And it was not Moses that was warning them. It was God himself judging them directly. It was not Moses. Okay, there was another occasion there were 3 people that came and rebelled against Moses. Once again, it was not Moses. It was God judging the people. But in the case of Muhammad, let me just join one more. Let's add one more and then we will go. Surah 33 is such a golden surah for me. It contains a lot of things like this. Very creepy things. But thinking of creepy things, if you double 33, you're going to get 66, right? So let's double 33 and jump to Surah 66. There is something else there that I want to share. Surah 66. Let's jump into that and look at some creepy revelations. Pretty creepy things. I'm going to read from Ayah 3. We'll read Ayah 3 to Ayah 6. We're looking at revelations of convenience. Self-serving revelations. So let's look at them. Remember when the prophet had once confided something to one of his wives? Then when she disclosed it to another wife? So the story behind this is he told something to one of his wives and warned her not to, incidentally, we don't get the names of people affected by these things inside the Quran. You have to look outside. But the Quran is clear. It explains everything. So, one of his wives, who was the wife? You can't get it in the Quran. You have to look at it tafsir or hadith. So that is, we're setting the stage. Let's go to Surah 4, to Ayah 4. It will be better if now, so that wife to whom Muhammad confided then went to tell another wife, and maybe they were mocking him, maybe they were speaking behind his back or something like that, and he got to know. And then a revelation came. So let's go to Ayah 4 now. It will be better if you wives both turn to Allah in repentance. So Muhammad is now speaking to those 2 wives that were constituting a nuisance, that were annoying him. So Allah is now telling them, imagine that you are a husband. Okay, assuming that you're a husband, maybe husband of one wife or husband of many wives, as in the case of Muhammad, and you don't know how to talk to your wives. You don't know how to caution them. And if it is one wife you have, good for you, better for you. You don't know how to iron out your differences with your wife or wives. So a revelation was needed to curb those women. They were too mighty. They were too strong for Muhammad. And the revelation had to come. But we're just getting started. Look at the content of the revelation. So you're going to laugh now. So it's good you people repent. With this your rebellious behavior. This is Allah talking. Okay. For your hearts have certainly faltered. Your hearts have gone astray. But if you continue to collaborate against him, you see now, they were collaborating against Muhammad. Those 2 women, they were torturing him. Then Allah himself is his guardian. Okay? And who else? And Jibril. And the righteous believers. And the angels. They were all his supporters as well. Imagine. Against whom? Against 2 women. Let's look at the supporters of Muhammad. Allah, number 1. Jibril, number 2. All the righteous believers, number 3. All the angels. They will all gang up against those women. Against 2 women. I don't want to use any language. Women are important. So I'm not going to use any language to look down on women. But I don't know. Let's read another version in case you just think in case you think, oh, what kind of version is that? So let's read Al-Maududi. If the 2 of you turn in repentance, who are the 2? You can't get them in the Quran. You have to look elsewhere to be able to get them. I'm not interested in their names now. We may talk about that because it's so easy. Just pick hadiths and check. You're going to get them. Or check tafsir. You're going to get the names of the women. So if the two of you turn in repentance to Allah, that is better for you. For the hearts of both of you have swerved from the straight path of obedience to your husband. Okay, and then Allah had to intervene. But if you support one another against the prophet, I don't know what this support means. Other than that, he confided in one of them, and that what was it? Which matter was it that he confided in them, in one of them, that it was so important that after she divulged it to the other person, it became a sort of torment to Muhammad. And maybe they were mocking him, maybe they were deriding him, or something like that. I don't know. So Allah had to keep on saying, if you support, if you people collaborate, I like the way Mustafa puts it. If you collaborate against him. Oh my goodness. If you collaborate against him. Let's see how the other people. Okay. This is Sahih International. If you cooperate against him. This is T. Usmani. How did he put it? If you back each other. Okay. This one is supporting this against Muhammad. Let's see how Abdel Hakim puts it. Collaborate. Who else? We support one another against him. Who else? Let's look at Peter. If you aid one another against him, let's look at Yusuf Ali. If you back up each other against, imagine. So this is Allah talking, warning two women that were conspiring against Muhammad, and he didn't know how to handle it. He had to report them to Allah, and Allah had to send a revelation. Okay, if it was a revelation meant for the whole world, okay, look at this ayah. This ayah is directed at the women, those women. And it's saying, okay, so if you people continue to collaborate against him, then Allah and this particular place, look at this. Look at how Pictol puts it. Then lo, Allah, even he is his protecting friend. Protecting friend. Wow. And yet, Muslims will tell us that Allah has no partner. I wonder what partnership is. If a friend is not a partner. So in their own language, in their own dictionary, only a son is a partner. Only a son. Your friend is not your partner. Your wife is not your partner. Only your son is your partner. So whenever they say Allah has no partner, they're always referring to Jesus. It is a concept of sonship that is partnership to them. That is the only partnership that exists in Islam. But friendship, no. Taking decisions together, no. Jointly owning the whole world, no. That's not partnership. But having a son, yeah, that is partnership. Having a son is partnership. But having a friend is not partnership. Okay, so this particular Quran is saying friend. He's calling Allah Muhammad's friend. And yet they will say Allah does not have a partner. I don't know what a friend is if a friend is not a partner. So Allah, that's number one. Jubril, that's number two. All the righteous believers, that's number three. And furthermore, all the angels will help Muhammad against two hapless women. Think about this, Muslims. Think about this. All right, you have to explain to us what other way can a convenient revelation be delivered, if not in this fashion Muhammad delivered, and many more. So I just wanted to share these funny things. Stay away from Islam. Drop your comment in the comment section down below. Thank you and God bless you.